Hey, welcome to the Bat Lessons Book Club. I'm Brian,
I'm Alex.
and today we're going to talk about Absolute Batman number 10.
That's right. It's
Very
written
exciting.
by Scott Snyder, art by
Mm-hmm.
Nick Dragotta, colors by Frank Martin, letters by Clayton Cowles. Do you have any spoiler-free thoughts?
But he's a badass.
Who's he?
Batman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Definitely build him up in this issue for sure. First, we get a really short moment where Martha is wondering where her son is, and he's been missing for a few days at this point. And Gordon's like reassuring her, like, "Oh, he's fine. Like he can take care of himself."
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the primary narrator for this issue, which is a doctor, who's like explaining what's happened to Bruce now that he's like been captured. Like if you recall where we left it, he had entered the Ark from above, and was it Bane who jumped him? I can't remember, but
Yep.
he gets captured.
Yep. Bane took him out in a very kind of a frustrating way. He took out one limb at a time.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He was like doing like Vulcan pinches and grips,
Yeah.
and like he didn't have one limb, and then he didn't have another. Yeah. And they've been like cutting stuff out of his body, which I think is a really cool detail.
Yeah, they list it all out. Go ahead.
It's tear gas pellets, acid pellets, explosive pellets, sedative pellets, hallucinogenic pellets, a full lockpick kit, blow darts, finger blades, knuckle blades, toe blades, push daggers, trench daggers, various throwing shuriken, and one large spiked war club. Collapsible.
But yeah, it is pretty fat. Like it breaks down. This is like the first layer of like he's a badass. Like he's a big
Yeah.
planner, and so it says like we've sedated him. He's 6'9", 421 pounds.
That's insane. Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's
yeah.
no way. Yeah, ain't no way.
It took 6 staff to carry him in. One back injury occurred. They removed his costume, which triggered booby traps.
Yeah.
Numerous injuries occurred.
That's fun.
And then they found further contraband inside his body that they had to cut out. And they believe all objects have been extracted. I say that way as a bit of a spoiler.
So in his absolute prime, Arnold Schwarzenegger weighed between 235 and 260 pounds. Says Google anyway. So 460, what'd you say?
Yeah,
460?
421.
421.
Unbelievable.
That's
Yeah.
stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
Is what that is. So yeah, they're definitely building them up here.
Yeah. Well, and then they say that he's been sedated and he'll be out for at least 48 hours. And then
his
like
eyes open.
immediately you see his
Yeah.
eyes open.
Yeah. And we get another look at the abomination, or an abomination, which we got last week. So I assume that's going to happen for every
Yeah.
issue in this arc.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're looking at here?
It kind of looks like there's a hand there on the right side.
Yeah.
Or
I
something.
think this is Croc. I'm not sure. It's got the teeth kind of coming across beneath
yes,
the MIN.
You are definitely right. Now that yes. I
Well,
know what you're saying.
for a while I thought it was Man-Bat because like directly beneath the B, it looked like a knee to me. And some of the materials that are coming off of it, I think are muscles. But at the time, before I got to the end of the issue and saw Croc, it looked like a
Okay,
wing
yeah.
to me. Those were folds, but now those look like muscle tone.
Okay, I didn't know if you were trying to be spoiler free. Yes, now that we've seen Croc,
Yes.
definitely the teeth thing there.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
And they've just given him this list of all the contraband. First thing when he wakes up, he gets a lockpick out of his mouth, which is kind of
Yeah.
fun.
And he gets out.
Yeah, he just literally walks out of his cell and he's running around and sneaking around the facility. This is kind of like a repeated thing that happens throughout the issue. I think it's really funny. They see it, like he's got this like fully extended run where his like his
Yeah.
arms are and legs and it goes thoom 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 thoom. It happens over and over again. And we see various like organic matters and experiments throughout the issue. The first one we see is the Helfern experiment. Do you know who Helfern is?
No.
So Carl Helfern is the given name for the villain, Dr. Death. Do you remember Dr. Death?
No.
So
Yeah,
on
another
episode
name.
5 of Bat Lessons, we covered Detective Comics number 29, which is the first issue written not by Bill Finger, but by Gardner Fox instead.
Oh, this is the mad scientist guy.
Yes.
And the big glass thing.
Uh,
He has. There's the gas that's coming down. He
No.
jumps inside and he doesn't break.
That's
That's someone
Detective
else.
27. You're thinking of 27 where he breaks
okay.
the yeah. That's the crime of the chemical syndicate. No, Dr. Death he is another mad scientist. He's the one that has Jabba His right hand man is the guy in the turban.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
vaguely
So it's in the
racist.
castle or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the way that he lures Batman in is he takes an ad out for him in the paper, and Batman literally responds to the to the ad. And at the end, he burns down Dr. Death's lab,
Right.
and he says, "Death, death to Dr. Death," which is like very uncharacteristic for Batman. So like this is full of nuggets, by the way. Like the entire issue, just a little Easter
Oh
eggs.
yeah,
about
I picked
different-
up on it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Eventually, he gets to an area where he's literally walking on a giant mass of bodies. There's a sign on the wall. There's the department is called Transmutation and Plasticity. Did you watch Severance?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil Severance, but this entire issue is giving serious like Severance vibes. Which
okay.
is probably one of the best television shows the last like I don't know 4 or 5 years. It's very good. I highly
I hear a lot
recommend it.
about it.
But like one of the departments in Severance is optics and design, and so transmutation and plasticity. It's like very like noun and noun.
Yeah.
And then eventually they call it the clay biome, Klay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
so.
isn't to me. That's Clayface.
Yes, 100%.
That's where I think
that's
it's
what they're
headed.
trying to say. Yes.
This is a really creepy moment though, because he's like, it's like body horror as well.
For
'cause,
sure.
Like he's walking through naked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see all these like things kind of pop up, and there's like a moan from below that says "it hurts," and he looks down,
Yeah.
and there's this face here saying "it hurts so bad," and then it starts grabbing at him, and it's like there's like one. He's naked, and a bunch of like nasty stuff is grabbing at
He's
him.
like walking
bleh.
on biomass. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other half is the biomass itself is just disgusting on its own,
Yeah.
and it's pretty creepy. I don't know.
It's creepy for sure, and they're
Yeah.
setting Bruce up in opposition to it. But a thing I'll point out is that at no point does he actually fight any of these things. They're scary to him, but it's not clear whether any of them are actually threatening. And I'll point that out as we go to.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Yes.
All he says is it hurts, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't try. It's not clear that he's trying to hurt Bruce back. He kind of sort of reaches at him, but.
Yeah.
And then we just get a couple panels of Bane showing up and beating the tar out of Batman. Most of that is happening in narration. And that's another thing that happens is that for most of the issue, we actually don't get a lot of action shots of Bane beating up Batman until the very end, which is interesting to me. They've choose to spend their panel economy on other things. So I think that's very judicious. They're being very intentional about what they're trying to show us.
Yes. So there's another thing right here that this is the first time they say this. They give these names, and it is I think they're clues. So
Sure.
So Bruce Wayne is Subject 27.
Yes.
Which there's
Detective
26
27.
before him, right? And then
It's the first issue of Batman. Yeah.
got it. I get it. And then Bane, they refer to him as Prime.
The
They never
Prime.
say
Yes.
Bane.
It's interesting. Not the Prime subject, just the Prime.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yes. And so does that mean that he is Subject 1? Does
Sure.
that mean that he is something else?
Is he
It's
like the
just-
best one, or are they using his DNA? Like, yeah, what is going on? Why is he the Prime?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's that keeps coming up over and over, and then they start later on they refer to like some other subjects and whether or not they were successful and stuff. But it's interesting. Bane says, "Keep trying, please."
Yes, he wants him to.
He wants him to keep trying to escape.
And we get a flashback to another thing. Like, this is another thread that we were pulling in the last issue, which is Waylon has, arranged a fight with Bibbo Babowski, which, if you recall, is the boxer or MMA fighter. I guess I don't know which it is that Sionis kills.
Right.
Yeah. And is also a side character from Superman. Like, I don't know why we're leaning into. It's like a very, unimportant, Superman, C-list side character. But anyway, Bruce agreed to help him train in a previous issue, and so now we're seeing that happen.
You nailed the big points.
Yeah.
He in the last episode or last issue, Croc Waylon comes to Bruce and is like, "Hey, I've got this big fight, and I want you to help me prepare for it." And Bruce is like, "Me, I'm not a boxer. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
And so, friends being friends, he works him over, convinced him to do it. So now they're sitting here looking at this TV, and Bruce is pointing out things like, "Look, his left is not quite as fast. We need to take advantage of that."
Yeah.
And so they're doing the analysis. They're trained together and stuff. They just watched like a really intense beatdown. Like it
They're-
says most brutal win of my 20 years. The announcer is saying, most brutal win of my 20 years.
Yeah, they're definitely like planting the seeds of doubt, and that's the thread that will go every time we sort of flash back to this. Is that
Yeah.
like, is this a fool's errand? Like, should he be doing
Yeah.
this? Like, is there any chance at all? Is he going to get hurt? So now, Bruce has been gone a month. So we've jumped forward a month from June to July. Instead of Gordon, Martha's now talking to Harvey, and she's like, "Where the heck's Bruce?" She's freaking out. And Bruce is back in the cell. The doctor is doing the narration again, and she says, like, they think maybe they've broken him. Like, he's despondent, he's docile, he's not, like, cleaning his space, he's not really taking care of himself. And previous subjects had a similar pattern. Again, this is giving Severance. If you've seen Severance, this is very, kind. Turns out it's an act, right? He hasn't given up at all. He's not mentally checked out. He's literally made weapons from, like, his teeth and his stomach acid.
Yes.
Which is crazy. And I guess
It is so crazy.
Yeah. I guess there's bats in the cell with him.
Yeah, so they do. If you go back a slide where it's got him with his beard, just to the left.
They're there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're hanging up there. And I don't know if that's because he's Batman or if it's just a huge cave.
They're
But
underground.
They say that they've been clearing guano at one point.
Right.
And
Well, so he takes the guano and piss.
yeah, in his toilet.
Yeah. Turns it into an explosive, which apparently is a thing you can do. I don't know.
Who knew?
And so last time he gets out with the lockpick, this time blows a hole in the side of his cell.
Yeah. Also, I like the stomach acid thing was also ingenuitive and ingenious. And
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he stopped eating.
Uh-huh.
And so they put a
feeding tube.
A feeding tube in.
Yeah.
And so he was able to manipulate his feeding tube to like reverse gears essentially.
Yeah.
And so he's burning people up. It's very gruesome. Like this is a crazy gruesome comic, but really kind of amazing the way he thought about this stuff and strategized for his next shot at escaping.
And this time he gets to the Isley ecosystem, which is Who's that? You tell me.
I don't know. There is a name later on.
Pamela Isley. That's Poison Ivy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. No,
Yeah.
There's a name later on that I'm like, I know that name.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool that they're tying her into the green. So are you familiar with the concept of the green?
Nope.
So I don't know where it starts. It's probably like, if I had to guess, it's probably like Alan Moore in the 80s or something like that. But it's part of the Swamp Thing lore in the DC universe that there's like an elemental like magic that like ties all living things together called the Green, and like his oppositional like forces the red or whatever, and it's like very H.P. Lovecraft.
It is. I just looked it up. Swamp Thing, 1986.
Nailed
So
it.
you like
Swoosh.
nailed it.
Is that Alan Moore? Or is that who was after Nascenti or? Not important.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that right away.
But it's now part of like the DC lore. Like it's a Swamp Thing that people reference now. In the New 52, they talked about it all the time. And so Pamela's saying like, join us in the Green. So
That's cool.
yeah, tying it into the sort of greater DC universe.
The Green wants out. Oh, I get it now. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I like that.
Yeah. Bane shows up and beats the tar out of Bruce again. They call him the Prime again. It's like only 2 panels. It's very small.
What do you make of the it looks like the Green sticks his tongue out, it goes into his mouth, and what do you make of all of that?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I guess that's not true. What I had said earlier about like none of them are actually threatening to Bruce, because that's pretty clearly threatening. Yeah. I guess it kind of looks like a root structure,
Yeah.
like it was a plant. So maybe Clay was questionably threatening. There's another one later I'll point out.
Yeah.
That is questionably so. But yeah, definitely Poison Ivy wants a piece of Bruce for some reason here.
Yeah. Well, and then Bane or Prime or whatever like rips its head off.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that wasn't like the Green or whatever, but like a piece of.
Well, that's the thing, is that like if it is the Green, then it's this like, it's like the Force. It's like in all living things. It's like all not all living things, like all plant life, right?
It's like the Avatar.
Sure. Yeah.
Did you see Blue People Avatar?
The first one. I never saw the sequels.
So they're all. I haven't seen the sequels either, but they're all like connected. It's like
Yeah.
okay, I'm with you now.
And then we get a flashback. I don't know. Do you want to talk about this one or?
Sure. So this confirms our suspicions from the last issue that
been wondering.
Bruce and Selena Kyle were working together to steal things. And so this is Selena saying, "Hey, let's go do this thing." Bruce is like, "I'm busy. I gotta help Waylon," and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna take a bunch of money and stuff. You can go tell Waylon that he's gonna lose his fight after we do this. But like, I hear you.
Yeah.
That is an important thing. But let's go steal some money." And that's kind of the long and the short of it. Is it's continuing to plant those seeds of doubt.
Yeah.
While also
100%.
confirming that he was not like a good guy all the time.
Yeah, we don't get the vibe that he's super into it in this moment, but he's at least complicit, and like sounds like in the past has been maybe actively helping.
Yeah.
Another month passes, so now we're 1 month later. Yeah, and we get this little interstitial where instead of Martha talking to someone, she's now passing out flyers. Right, so, like Bruce is a missing person. She's trying to find him, trying to bring him back. Doctor's narrating again. They're clearly running some kind of experiments on Bruce. They don't specify what. They say that like there's sutures and grafts that are taking on his body. You know, they've got his body. They just need to make sure they've broken his mind. And a lot of the staff, I guess, thinks that he's broken at this point. But Bane, the Prime, doesn't think he's broken just yet. And they devise like one last test, and they give him a suit.
But it looks like he's got venom.
Yeah, maybe. Certainly, there's like green things on him.
Yeah,
I read those as maybe as like sutures that are healing, or like maybe they're like veins through which they could distribute venom. Like something's going on. They're doing something with him.
They say that after 2 weeks of surgeries, he's managed to survive the full cycle. So
whatever that means.
Supposedly they're done because it's the full cycle.
Sure.
And then everyone before him had died. So that tells me that Prime is not Subject 1. He's something else.
Sure.
Because all 26 died. But yeah, he looks very different now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I guess this new test is they hang the Batman stuff out in front of him, see what he does.
Yeah, he has this little monologue with himself. He's like, don't tempt me. I don't want to do this. Right. Clearly he's thinking about about not trying again, because every time he tries, they F him up.
Yeah.
But of course he does. Yeah. How can he help
course.
himself? He's Batman. We get this awesome full page splash. I wanted to take this moment to like really sing Dragotta's praises, because I kind of bagged on him a little bit on the last episode. This is stellar. Like if I could print this out and hang it on my wall, I would. This is amazing. 10 out of 10. Love this.
Agree.
And then we get to the Langstrom experiment. Is this the one you know?
Yes.
Okay. You were right, by the way. Like in the last issue, we were looking at like a blue wall, and I was like, is this more like cryogenics? And it was a skeleton, and you were like, this looks like Man-Bat.
Yeah. Yeah, so Langstrom is the scientist who, I think he shows up even in like Batman the Animated Series, and he creates like the cat people and stuff, right? Yeah.
He becomes Man-Bat.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course.
Yes.
Sorry.
who we see in the lower right-hand corner here in this art. I assume that's because he's kind of got the bat ears, and he's like hunched over, and he's crawling forward.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He says, help us. And notably, they never actually fight. So this is another one where we want out, help us.
Yes.
It hurts.
Make it stop.
They're in distress.
Yeah.
And they're scary, and they're oppositional, but like, do they want to kill Batman, or they just want out, right?
Yeah. Because presumably they're victims just like he is.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So they're on the same team.
To some degree.
Their minds haven't been like turned.
Right. And we get like a tiny little flashback where Waylon is asking Bruce if he can win the Bibbo fight. So they planted the seeds of doubt. This is the sort of like climax of that sort of little storyline, that little thread that they're pulling. And then after Waylon asked the question in the past, we cut to the present. We're in the Ark, and Batman says aloud, "I don't know."
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like his internal monologue is like he's asking himself, is this a fight that I can even win?
Yeah.
Like, should I even be trying right now? Which is a really, really great way to tell that. Like this is They're showing us rather than telling us, which is great. I love it. And then Bane shows up and starts beating on Batman. And this is the first like full page worth of action. Like we're actually getting to see Bane beat up on Batman. They're not just telling us now; they're showing us.
Yeah.
So
and then there's an interesting a monologue in here coming from Bane where he's saying like, "Hey, I'm not doing this to be a jackass. I'm doing this to help you. Like this is part of the process, and the more that I hurt you and get you to stop, the less you're going to hurt in the long run before you become me, essentially."
Right.
And he's saying, I went through all of this myself, and so I'm helping you.
Like in his sick, like twisted world, like it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to go through the experiments and he's going to be modified and he's going to be changed. That's happening no matter what. And so anything that he's doing in the service of that is like an act of like mercy. Right. Yeah. So I'm not hurting you. I'm helping you by beating the snot out of you.
And every time that he's escaped and been caught, there's some comment of like, you will need days in the infirmary before we can continue our experimentation or whatever. Yeah. And so this time he gets pummeled pretty big, and these doctors say, we'll need extensive infirmary stay before being returned to his environment. However, this is the time where it turns around, because Bane is in the middle of saying this quote, it's not the strongest or most intelligent of us who will survive this war called life, but instead the most adaptive to, and he gets cut off because Croc, out of nowhere, jumps in, which is, I will say, like kind of amazing and kind of in a weird way, because I recently watched Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay. And so then I rewatched all of the Jurassic movies, and it just seems like every time they're in a really bad situation, some dinosaur comes out of somewhere and takes out the bad guy. So this is kind of that. We've got Croc who jumps out and is taking on Bane, and the doctors are like, oh no, and Bane falls on them, and it's actually kind of humorous in a sick way, is that Bane has just like tipped over and fallen on like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 doctors. Yeah. And these other doctors are like, he fell right on them. I think they're like they're dead. He killed them by falling on them.
Well, he's so comically large. Like if you look at this doctor's foot is like maybe a third the size of Bane's elbow.
He's ridiculously big. I mean, he's got to be like 15 to 20 feet tall. He's just absurdly large. He's got to be like a couple of tons of weight or something. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely killing people if he falls on them. Yeah. And then these doctors are like, quick, let's run. And then they have that Jurassic Park moment again where Croc turns and looks at them, and they just kind of stand there like, oh shit. And then they just get eaten. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Batman realizes that this crocodile thing is Waylon. And we get this cool moment where Batman's like reaching out to him. He's talking to him. He's like, Waylon, it's me. Like, and I love the art. It's super cool.
So did you see where they get their faces really close together? Mm-hmm. And Bruce is missing a bunch of teeth?
No, I didn't see that.
So they talked about how he pulled out all of his teeth to make like a weapon out of him. And so this is the first time you see like his teeth. He's got a bunch of teeth missing.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. That makes so much sense.
And then it finishes the flashback where Bruce says to Waylon, of course I believe you can win. You're Waylon Croc Jones.
Yeah. And then we get just an amazing double page splash. This is another one I would hang on my wall.
I know, this one's really cool. Awesome.
Yeah. It's super like 90s. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like, metal. It's metal. Yeah. Like grunge, like ridiculous, like over the top chains and trench coats, and like Batman's riding a freaking crocodile. Yeah. Creature thing,
Yeah, it's like a very cool crocodile though. Yeah. It's not anything like, I think usually when you see art of like Croc, Basically, it looks like a crocodile, like wearing a hat, essentially.
Yeah, a cross between like an actual crocodile and a human sized like Godzilla, right? Like
Yeah.
it's proportioned how you would
Yes,
expect a
that's a good
reptile
way
to
to
be,
describe it.
you know.
Hmm.
And this is not.
This is not like that at all. Like
Yeah.
he's got like his human face on the front, and the teeth start there, and then like run all the way back down his neck,
Yeah.
kind of down past his shoulders, even a little bit into his
Yeah.
chest area. It's really crazy. And then like the way the arms and the hands are, these are not normal for what we've seen for.
Right. Well, and
Croc,
he's got like wrists. He's like standing on his fingers on his, which like I'm pretty sure reptiles don't have that. They've got like chicken wings for arms and things like that, and yeah, and just the most ridiculously long tail ever. Like it's very yeah.
Love it.
The Doctor explains that together, Croc and Batman are able to flee to the sewers. They get away, and then we get a sort of a final reveal that the Doctor that this whole time has been Dr. Arkham.
Dr. Arkham.
Yeah. And then Bane says that he's going to break him. Do you get that reference?
Yeah. But Bane has broken Batman multiple times through history, right? Like I think the most famous one that everyone knows about would be breaking his back in Dark Knight Rises.
Well, so you know that
which comes from the comics.
Yeah. So it's a reference. This is direct reference to Nightfall, the first epic story that includes Bane. He says, "I am Bane, and I could kill you, but death would only end your agony and silence your shame. Instead, I will simply break you." And so the panel where he breaks the back, he says, "Break you." And so when he says, I'm gonna break him, it's a direct reference back. So yeah, that's Absolute Batman number 10.
I loved it.
Yeah,
this is a good. I mean, I love the storytelling. Yeah. I love it's along the same lines of the other 9 issues we've seen. But just the combination of like visuals and description and how they like interlace the past with the present.
Yeah.
It's very well done. It's like this like harmony is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way that Snyder is doing A plot, B plot, where the past is informing the actions in the present. And we get to see the motivation for people and how they're choosing to approach things and how they're where they're getting their fire from is super cool. And this is just a really kinetic issue. Like if the last one was all set up, this is all like stuff is happening. This is the type of issue that is super easy to read. 8 minutes, I'm in and out. I read the whole thing, and then you could just do it again. Yeah, it's firing on all cylinders here for sure. And Nick Dragotta too. I have zero complaints about the art in this issue. It's playing to his strengths absolutely. He just gets to draw like, what if like Poison Ivy was this crazy like biological monster? What if Man-Bat was this crazy monster? What if and I love it. It's super good.
Do you know if there's a connection between 523 and Killer Croc?
I don't know that. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like Detective Comics number 523 was the first.
That's
appearance.
What I was wondering. Yeah.
Let me look it up.
While you do that, I'll just voice over my thought there. Is it said, Subject 27 continues to exceed expectations, just as Prime and I predicted. He and Mutation 523 are fleeing to the sewers.
Yeah.
And that's how they escape. So
it is Detective 523.
It is?
Well, yeah, so the first, he has a cameo in Batman 357, but the first full issue where he's like a character is Detective 523. So there you go.
Love it.
Yeah. So all those numbers are corresponding to alternative meanings. It's good.
Yeah, like a very common like Batman trope is if he has to put in like a code, it's like 1939
sure, yeah.
or whatever it is.
There's also like if there's a street name or there's a like a building that has a name or there's like a foundation, they'll often choose like authors or editors. So it'll be like Finger cool. Street or it'll be Kane or it'll be whatever, Yeah. So they like to do stuff like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So do you have any predictions?
Well, I think you were absolutely right that much like, because mutants is the reason that like, everyone has powers in X-Men, or because Terrigenesis is the reason everyone in I want to say Eternals, but that's wrong. Inhumans has a power. The hand wavy thing for DC for a long time has been just like metahumans. Like there's like a classification. powers come from a thing. You know, it seems pretty clear that Arkham and the Ark are going to be the genesis of a ton of the sort of supernatural, you know, villains and goings on in the absolute Batman universe, which is really cool. I love that. That's great. It also sort of like is an answer to in the Prime universe, in the traditional Batman, there's sort of constant question of like, is Batman an escalation that in turn causes another escalation? Because he shows up and he's got a mask and he's like doing vigilante stuff and he's fantastical. Does that cause the villains to become fantastical as well? And it's like a call and response where like Joker only exists because Batman exists. And it seems like very much is the case in the absolute universe. The answer to that is no, right? Like the Ark exists without Bruce and without Batman, and they're creating these monstrosities without Bruce and without Batman. So it's not a response to him, and that's cool. The idea that like he's existing in a world that is not of his own making. Yeah. And I assume we're just going to double down on that. We're going to see more and more of that. I think it's absolutely right that we're going to see maybe not all, but a lot of villains, what are traditionally villains in the Batman universe, are going to be on his side. That's going to be his Bat family, at least in the short term. And I think we might make good on the zoo of it all. Like it sounds like, you know, they might be different animals and different sort of creations. I think that's where we're headed. And you've been calling it from the beginning. So props to you.
Thanks. I'm very curious because in this, when I saw, okay, Croc became Croc.
Yeah.
I started to think through the rest of that, like who is everyone else, and like how are they going to make a penguin?
Sure. They might not do it with all of them, but
yeah.
But
yeah, I'm also very curious because he's escaped.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to come back and be like Bruce Wayne, or is he going to let like Bruce Wayne die because he looks so different than how he did before? Like, how is he going to make that connection with Martha? How is he going to reconnect with
my guess is they'll play all that down. Like his hair will grow back and you won't really be able to tell whatever they've done to him.
But it also raises the question of like, throughout this process, what have they put as part of his DNA or whatever?
It's a good question.
That he doesn't know about,
altered or and is that
I think
in a
he's
meaningful way?
Yeah. Well, it's like, is there going to be a moment where he's fighting Bane and Bane like flips a switch or something?
Sure.
And Bruce does something he doesn't know he can do.
Yeah, we'll find out. To me, it's such a core part of Batman as a character that he's just a dude. And so I would hope that they haven't permanently changed him, but like, who knows? It's the absolute universe, so they could do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like back to what you were saying earlier is that Ark M is going to be the hand wavy. This is where everything comes from.
Yeah.
That's mystical. Does also kind of suggest to me that magic won't be a part of this universe, like it has been in the past.
I don't think that's necessarily off the table, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think especially because Absolute Batman's playing in the same pool as like Absolute Wonder Woman, who is literally a god.
Oh, fair enough.
But like I think at least for this author and in this time, and it seems like the focus will be on the Ark and the fallout from it. So
yeah. I'm thinking about like what's it called? The Lazarus Pit.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And how that is just like magic normally.
Totally.
And so in this world they could have a Lazarus Pit and it'd just be like extremely advanced science.
They could, yeah.
You know. So that's gonna be a curious one to see unfold over time.
Yeah, like how do they keep iterating on this and like is this the theme just for like an arc or two or is this the way it's gonna work? Yeah.
An arc or two.
Hey, Bat Fam. Hope you like the show. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Stickers. We got stickers. It's a great way to support the show. Just $5. Link in the description and on batlessons.com. To keep the Batman history train going, watch this video next.